Every morning started the same. I have the dream where I'm trapped in the dark, unable to move, too terrified to speak. I can hear footsteps and muffled voices, and my heart is hammering in my chest, the noise pounding in my ears, and I know that this is the moment when they're finally going to come for me. And then, suddenly, I wake, sitting upright in my bed, gasping for breath. "No," I said, the words strangled in my throat. "No." My eyes darted around my room, the first morning light seeping in through the drawn curtains. I took in the familiarity of my surroundings, the vintage Danish modern dresser, the battered leather club chair in the corner, the oversized framed black and white photograph of a horse hanging on the opposite wall. Everything was fine. I was safe. I forced myself to inhale and exhale deeply until my pulse settled. 20 minutes later, fueled by a cup of coffee, I laced up my running shoes and headed outside. I ran most mornings, rain or shine, forcing myself out the door first thing, before I could talk myself out of it. "Don't think about it," I told myself, while I clutched the can of mace I always carried with me on my runs. "Don't think about anything. Just run." But as my breath and pace settled into a familiar rhythm and my muscles started to warm up, my mind began to wander, mostly to Tessa and her trip to New Orleans. I should have gone with her. I couldn't go with her. I ran on, my pace not faltering. Tessa and I had grown up together in the small seaside town of Shoreham, located on the southeastern coast of Florida. We'd been inseparable since the day in the 3rd grade when Tessa plunked her plastic tray down on the cafeteria table, sat down next to me, and announced, "Hi, I'm Tessa. I'm pretty sure we're going to be best friends." That was Tessa. She'd always been a force of nature. She knew what she wanted and went after it. Like the time in 9th grade when she went to Orlando to audition for a Disney show about an a cappella group and made it to the final callback before she was cut, even though she couldn't sing or dance. Or when she won her race for student council our junior year by handing out chocolate bars to everyone, packaged in personalized wrappers with the slogan, "Tessa Mason, vote early, vote often." After we graduated high school, I'd gone to Florida State to study journalism. Tessa had gone off to NYU, planning to pursue a career in marketing. But somewhere along the way, it had all gotten mixed up. Now I was back living in Shoreham and working from home as a copywriter, and Tessa was a wildly successful travel influencer with 500,000 followers on the social media app Click. She traveled the world and posted beautiful photographs of her adventures, and I followed her journey from the safety of the tiny cottage I rented on the end of a quiet street. It was supposed to have been a temporary stopping point, just a way to exist while I fixed what had broken inside of me. But now I was 29 years old, and it was starting to feel like my life had set in place, like concrete drying on a sidewalk. Maybe Tessa was right, I thought. Maybe I should start an online business as a vintage reseller. I loved scouring thrift stores and garage sales for hidden treasures, and I had a knack for finding cool vintage items. Scandinavian rugs, French cookware, abstract oil paintings. And I knew that Tessa would cross-promote it on her much larger platform. If I did it properly, it really could take off. But the exhilaration I felt at the idea was quickly followed by a sense of overwhelming hopelessness. What did I know about starting a business, much less setting up a website or promoting myself on social media? It would become just one more thing I failed at.